Now when driving a brand new Kia, I always seem to come back to the same phrase. Wow, haven't they come a long way? It's all well and good saying that, but I think the Rio is the best demonstration of the evolution of the brand yet. You had the first generation Kia Rio that was, well, let's just call it the first generation and leave it at that. Then there was the second generation, and the styling really started to move on with that car. But it's the third generation where everyone started to take Kia very seriously in the B segment. And here we are with the fourth generation car, a machine that promises to make life even harder for the likes of the Ford Fiesta and Skoda Fabia. This specific Kia Rio is the first edition, and it's all singing, all dancing, first of the run incarnation of the new B segment hatchback. Kia's design work is once again a talking point as we see the latest incarnation of that tiger nose grille. It's a very clean design with rounded edges, those distinctive lighting insignias, and generally a lower and wider stance. But progress doesn't stop with the exterior. Inside you'll find a really nicely laid out, well designed, and in this first edition with its sort of matte red finishes, very interesting to look at cabin. It's contoured and sculpted, and it's not just a sea of bland grey plastics. There's gloss finishes, and the centre console is dominated by a new touchscreen infotainment display. Now there are some scratchy hard plastics on the door panels and things, but generally speaking the car feels well screwed together and probably something that will take a bit of a beating from the children. Speaking of the little monsters, they'll have plenty of space in the back as all three seats have good levels of legroom, even the middle passenger with a nice low transmission tunnel. Headroom isn't too bad either. These first edition cars get two-toned leather trimmed seats that are pretty comfortable, but maybe could do with a little bit more bolstering around the edges. As you might expect in a top specification car, the interior is laden with toys, everything from heated seats, even a heated steering wheel, which is quite unusual for a B segment car. There's loads of charging points all over the place. It's very, very well equipped. But then that said, the mid-level 2 and 3 trims also are quite well specified, with all of the essentials coming as standard. The boot in the all-new Kia Rio is particularly impressive at 325 litres or 980 litres if you fold those back seats flat. Now the first edition Rio is the most powerful in the range, and it comes with a 118 brake horsepower 1 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine that also produces 171 Nm of torque, which is pretty peppy for a 3-cylinder car. Paired with this engine is a 6-speed manual transmission, has a good selection of ratios and doesn't have any trouble with motorways thanks to that all-important 6th gear. Around town the little engine acquits itself really well. It's quite refined, there's not really any vibrations coming back through the cabin, and it's pretty quiet too. The urban environment really suits the new Rio. Its small proportions makes it easy to park, and whilst the rear window is a little bit shallow, you can have a reversing camera which makes life an absolute doddle. And its light control weights make it easy to drive and manoeuvre. It's got really strong mid-range punch thanks to that turbo. That torque has no problem pushing the car onwards. It accelerates at a good rate once it gets going and the turbo is spooled up. There is some road noise that penetrates the cabin, but I have to say, unless under hard acceleration, the engine is actually really refined at most speeds. The new Rio might not be the most enthralling car to drive in its class, but the increased track, the wider footprint, does offer more of that reassuring grip. Kia claim that in this model it's 60 mpg combined and emissions of 107 grams per kilometre of CO2. If you fancy one of these well-endowed first edition cars, it'll cost from £17,445, which is quite a lot for a little car. We'd strongly recommend a 2 or 3 grade as they represent really good value for the amount of kit that you get inside them. The all-new Kia Rio range starts from £11,995. Progress is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Please subscribe for all of the latest and greatest cars to hit the road. For breaking news and written reviews, visit www.insidelane.co.uk.